aliens invited humans to peace talks. They regretted it. Sci-Fi HFY Story. The message arrived on Earth without warning. It did not come through normal channels, and it did not follow any human protocol. It appeared at the same time on every major screen, every satellite feed, and every deep space receiver. The language shifted smoothly until it matched every region on the planet. The meaning was clear. The Galactic Council invited humanity to peace talks. For generations, humans had looked into the dark sky and wondered who else was out there. When proof finally came, it was not friendly. Alien ships had passed through nearby systems, watching but never speaking. Human signals were ignored. Trade was denied. Warnings were vague and distant. Humanity was treated like a loud child at the edge of a quiet room. Now, suddenly, there was an invitation. The Council spoke of harmony, shared futures, and mutual understanding. They proposed a neutral station far from Earth. They promised safety. They promised respect. Many humans did not trust it. Still, the world governments met and argued for days. Some believed refusing would confirm the galaxy's low opinion of humanity. Others feared a trap. In the end, they agreed to send a small group. No warships, no displays of power, just people. The delegation was chosen carefully. Adam was placed at the front. He was not loud, not famous, and not dramatic. He had spent most of his life studying patterns, especially how powerful groups behaved when they believed they were superior. He spoke slowly and listened more than he talked. Lena was assigned as an observer. Officially, she handled records and translation support. Unofficially, she noticed things others missed. Small pauses, slight changes in tone, the kind of details that revealed more than words. There were others with them, but Adam and Lena understood something important before the ship even left Earth. They were not going to be treated as equals. The human ship was modest. It carried no visible weapons and no heavy armor. It looked fragile compared to the massive alien vessels that surrounded the neutral station. As they approached, the station filled the view window like a metal moon, covered in sharp edges and slow-moving lights. Alien ships hovered around it in silent formation. Adam stood with his hands behind his back as the ship docked. He felt the shift as artificial gravity took hold. The air inside the station was breathable, but it smelled faintly different, clean yet cold. A group waited for them at the entrance. The aliens varied in shape and size, but they shared one thing: confidence. They did not hide their curiosity. Their eyes lingered on human faces, bodies, and movements, as if watching animals that had learned to walk upright. A tall alien stepped forward. Its voice echoed slightly, even without amplification. The Council welcomes humanity. Your presence has been accepted. Accepted, not welcomed. Adam inclined his head politely. Thank you for the invitation. We hope these talks lead to peace. The alien paused just long enough to feel deliberate. Peace is an interesting concept, it replied. Lena noticed the way several aliens exchanged brief glances. Not concern, amusement. The humans were led through long corridors. The walls shifted color as they passed, reacting to movement. The station felt alive, but not warm. Every step echoed, reminding them how small their group was in this place. They were shown to a chamber prepared for the talks. It was large, with seats arranged in a wide circle. The human seats were smaller and placed slightly lower than the others. The difference was subtle, but intentional. Adam did not comment. The talks began with speeches. The council representatives spoke at length about balance in the galaxy. They described themselves as guardians of order. They spoke of how young species often misunderstood their place. Humanity was praised for surviving on a dangerous world, but the praise felt sharp, like a blade wrapped in silk. One alien gestured toward the humans. "Your kind is emotional," it said calmly, "quick to conflict. Your history proves this. Bad. Peace requires discipline." Adam nodded slowly. "Humanity has learned from its past. That is why we are here." A few aliens clicked softly, a sound Lena had already learned meant humor. As the hours passed, patterns formed. The aliens asked questions but rarely waited for full answers. They interrupted gently, correcting humans about their own history. They spoke as teachers speaking to slow students. Lena noticed something else. Every time a human device activated, even something simple, the lights above them shifted. A soft hum followed. Human screens flickered for half a second before stabilizing. She leaned slightly toward Adam and spoke quietly. "Our systems are being monitored closely. More than theirs." Adam replied without looking at her.
"I know."
During a break, the humans were escorted to a waiting area. No food was offered, though the aliens consumed nutrient gels openly. The humans were told it was an oversight. Adam stood near the wall, studying the surface. It absorbed light instead of reflecting it. Lena moved closer to a transparent panel that looked out into space. She noticed a faint shimmer ripple across the station's outer structure. "That is not decorative," she said softly. Adam joined her. Containment. They both understood the meaning. This station was not just neutral ground. It was a controlled space, designed to limit movement, designed to trap. When the talks resumed, the tone shifted. The council presented projections of Earth, oceans, cities, resource maps. "Your planet holds value," one alien said. "Its location is inconvenient, but its materials are useful." Adam kept his expression neutral. "Earth is our home." "Of course," the alien replied, "but homes change." "Ah, civilizations adapt." The implication hung heavy in the air. Lena felt a tightness in her chest, but she did not show it. She watched as several aliens leaned forward slightly, eager for a reaction. Adam spoke carefully. "Is this a proposal?" The alien tilted its head. "We prefer to think of it as guidance. Acceptance would ensure your species survives under council oversight." "And if we refuse?" Adam asked. The chamber fell quiet. "Refusal would indicate instability," the alien said. "The council does not tolerate unstable variables." For the first time, Adam smiled. It was small, controlled, and unreadable. "We appreciate honesty," he said. "Humanity values clarity." The aliens seemed pleased, believing they had established dominance. As the session ended, the humans were escorted back toward their quarters. The path changed slightly, leading them through a narrower corridor. Lena counted turns. "Too many. This is not the same route," she whispered. "No," Adam replied. "It is not." They reached a sealed door. It opened after a pause longer than normal. Inside, the room was simple, clean, empty, too empty. "No external communication access," Lena said after a quick check. "Internal systems only." Adam nodded. "They want us isolated." Lena looked at him. "They are not planning peace." Adam met her gaze calmly. No, they are... They are planning a lesson. He moved to the center of the room and placed his hand against the wall. The surface felt smooth, but there was tension beneath it, like pressure waiting to be released. Lena lowered her voice. "Do we leave?" Adam shook his head slowly. "Not yet." He looked toward the unseen center of the station, where countless alien eyes were watching, measuring, judging. "They invited us here because they believe they already understand us," he said. "That is their mistake." Lena felt a quiet chill run through her. Far beyond the station, human space was silent. No fleets waited, no rescue signals were sent. To the galaxy, humanity looked small, alone, and compliant. That illusion was exactly what made the moment dangerous and powerful. The door sealed behind them with a soft sound, unnoticed by most of the station, but not by the humans inside. The next day, the humans returned to the main chamber for the second session. The light in the room was colder now, and the seats seemed harder. The aliens were already waiting. Their shapes were different from the day before, showing that more of the council had arrived. Some were taller, some wider, and some had many eyes that blinked independently. The humans walked in slowly. Adam and Lena stayed at the front, their faces calm. They knew that every move, every blink, every pause was being watched. The aliens noticed, of course, and they smiled, or what looked like a smile. The first alien to speak was small, with pale green skin and long arms. It leaned forward on its table and said, "Human delegates, your kind is known to act first and think later. Let us test your reactions to real choices." Adam nodded slightly. "Humans act based on reason, not instinct alone. We will respond carefully." The alien clicked its fingers. The sound echoed strangely in the chamber. Several of the other aliens tilted their heads, observing. Another alien, large and red-skinned with eyes like liquid silver, spoke next. "The galaxy watches you. Your ability to survive has attracted attention. You are interesting because you are unpredictable." Lena felt a small chill. Unpredictable could mean danger, or it could mean threat. She made a note to keep a close watch on their gestures. A holographic map appeared in the center of the room. It showed many systems, stars, and planets. Lines connected some of them. On Earth's sector, small red dots marked locations: cities, military bases, factories, farms. Everything about humanity was shown as if under a microscope. Adam said nothing. He studied the map carefully, noting patterns and gaps. They were giving humans enough information to react, but not enough to act freely. "Do you understand?" the green alien asked. "Your choices today will be measured." "Yes," Adam said, his voice calm. "We understand that our actions are observed." The alien made a soft, almost musical sound. Lena interpreted it as amusement, and she could see some aliens moving slightly in their seats, talking quietly among themselves in a language humans could not hear. Then the session shifted. The aliens began to ask questions. They asked about human history, human society, and human weaknesses. They asked about weapons, technology, and survival strategies. Every question was polite, formal, but lined with subtle pressure. Interruptions, corrections, and slight disbelief followed most answers. There was a way to make humans feel small, like children being taught lessons they already knew. Adam answered carefully. Lena translated some parts, but she also noted every small pause and tone. Every detail mattered. the aliens believed they were controlling the conversation. They believed humans would slip, reveal secrets, or make mistakes. But Adam had prepared. Every answer he gave was a combination of truth and careful concealment. Lena's notes added depth to their observations, recording alien reactions. Every flicker of an eye, every slight smile or frown was captured. The humans were learning as much as they were answering. Break came in the middle of the session. The aliens suggested it casually. No one left the room. Humans were escorted to another area, a hallway that curved slowly. The walls seemed to shift color again, but this time they reacted to the humans' footsteps. It was subtle, almost imperceptible, but Lena noticed. It was a pattern. It was a test. Adam whispered, "They think they are in control. Watch how they adjust to our movements. Small changes will tell you much about their priorities." Lena nodded. She followed closely, making mental notes. They reached a small chamber. Inside, the humans were allowed to sit, but food and water were minimal. The aliens consumed their gels openly, tasting and discussing flavors quietly. This was another subtle display of control and difference. "They want us aware of their dominance," Lena said softly. "Even in this small way." Adam agreed. Dominance is never just physical. It is measured in control over routine, access, and environment. The second half of the session returned to the chamber. This time, the aliens began to present hypothetical situations. Some involved resources. Some involved territorial disputes. Some involved moral dilemmas. They asked humans to respond. Every response was analyzed, every hesitation recorded. One alien asked, "If a nearby planet suffers a disaster, would humans intervene even if it risks your own lives?" Adam answered with calm clarity, "Humanity values life. Where possible, we assist." The alien clicked its fingers again. "But your species also values survival. Do you place self-preservation above others?" Adam paused briefly, then said, "We consider both. Survival without morality is meaningless." Murmurs passed among the aliens. Some tilted forward. Others leaned back, making a sound like laughter. Lena noted that the aliens' attention had shifted from questions to observation. They wanted reactions more than answers. They wanted to measure hesitation, stress, and confidence. Then a new test appeared. The aliens requested that humans demonstrate their ability to operate alien technology. A console appeared in front of Adam. The lights were strange. Symbols were unknown. The air around it hummed softly. Lena's heart raced. This could be a trap. A failure here could have consequences. Adam stepped forward calmly. Lena knew he had studied alien tech remotely for years. He understood patterns, logic structures, and interface behavior. Slowly, deliberately, he touched the console. The lights responded to his touch in a predictable sequence. The aliens watched, leaning closer, as if surprised. "Impressive," one said. "Your species adapts quickly, perhaps faster than expected." Adam kept his expression neutral. "We adapt to survive. It is what humans have done since the beginning." The aliens paused. A large one with orange and black stripes waved its many hands slowly, signaling discussion. The humans watched as it communicated silently with others. They could not hear words, but the movement itself was a language. Decision-making. Agreement. Disagreement. Lena whispered, "They are surprised we can do this without their help." Adam nodded. "That is the point. We show capability without aggression. By the end of the session, the aliens had shifted slightly in their approach. The questions became less mocking and more testing. They were still in control, but they were curious in a way that humans had never seen. The balance had changed, even subtly. Adam and Lena knew this. They had sent signals, small but clear, that humans could handle more than the aliens expected. After the chamber emptied, the humans returned to their quarters. The corridors were empty, silent, except for the subtle hum of the station. Adam paused at a corner, feeling the structure. The walls were smooth, but he could sense energy flows, artificial pressure systems, and surveillance. Lena approached quietly. "They are learning from us too, aren't they?" Adam nodded. "Yes, but they underestimate patience. They underestimate subtlety." For the first time since arriving, the humans allowed themselves a private conversation. Lena reviewed her notes, and Adam considered the implications of every observed detail. They both understood the pattern. The aliens were testing dominance. They were trying to provoke reactions. They were setting the stage for control. And humans would not give it. The next day the session would continue, but the humans had already begun the process of mapping the alien behavior, studying weaknesses, and preparing subtle strategies. Not weapons, not force. Observation and preparation. That was the human strength. The doors sealed behind them with a soft metallic sound. Lena leaned against the wall, feeling its slight vibration. "They think they are in control," she said quietly. Adam's eyes were steady. "Let them believe it. Soon the real game begins." Outside, the galaxy was calm. Observers would record the events, seeing humans appear small, compliant, and cautious. Yet inside the station, the humans were growing stronger in ways invisible to the aliens. Every question, every test, every correction built knowledge, and knowledge was power. The humans were not afraid. They were ready to play the game on their terms, and the aliens had not yet realized that inviting humans to the table was only the beginning of the challenge. The third day arrived quietly, but the tension in the station was thicker than before. Humans entered the chamber with careful steps, aware that every movement was measured, every glance noted. The aliens had changed slightly overnight. Their postures were sharper, their eyes more focused. They seemed less amused and more alert. Adam and Lena noticed it immediately. The session began with a new alien speaking, one the humans had not seen before. Its skin was pale silver, and its limbs were unusually long, giving it a graceful, almost fluid motion. It spoke in calm tones. "Human delegates, the Council has observed your responses. You think you understand our ways? But true understanding comes from actions, not words." Adam nodded politely. "We understand that actions reveal intentions, and intentions are more important than words." The alien's eyes narrowed slightly, showing recognition.
You adapt quickly.
Perhaps too quickly for comfort. Today, we will see how humans respond under pressure. The chamber transformed. The floor shifted slightly, creating a gentle incline that changed with every step. Holographic panels appeared around the room, projecting scenarios of planetary disasters, conflicts, and resource shortages. The aliens asked humans to decide, to prioritize, and to act within the simulated scenarios. Adam stepped forward first. He studied the panels carefully. Every image, every prompt, was designed to provoke stress. Yet he moved slowly, calmly. He weighed the options. Lena watched him and took mental notes on the alien reactions. Small movements, subtle twitches, the slightest shift in tone. These were signals that the humans recorded with precision. "Human delegates, the silver alien said. Choose one action. Save the colony or protect the resource site. Time is limited. Adam considered the question. Lena could see the calculations in his mind. He spoke with measured tone. We will prioritize the lives of the colonists. Resources can be replaced. Lives cannot. Some aliens leaned forward slightly, showing surprise. They had expected hesitation or argument, but Adam's calm decision unsettled them. Another scenario appeared immediately. It involved a neighboring species under threat from internal conflict. The humans were asked whether to intervene. Adam spoke again. We will offer assistance only where it does not endanger innocent lives unnecessarily. Intervention must be measured. The aliens whispered among themselves. Lena noticed the patterns. Bright, quiet, quieted, turbo. The whispers were fast, almost musical, as if discussing probabilities and outcomes. They were calculating, testing, and revising their expectations of human behavior. A third test followed. A complex console appeared before Adam. It was alien technology, unfamiliar and unpredictable. He studied the interface carefully. The aliens watched intently, expecting errors or mistakes. Adam's fingers moved slowly, pressing panels, observing responses, learning patterns. Within minutes, he completed the assigned task. The console responded with a soft hum, signaling acceptance. Interesting, the silver alien said. Your species adapts without aggression. Most would fail or act with force. You have learned restraint. Adam inclined his head. Restraint is necessary for survival. Without it, actions are meaningless. The aliens murmured again, now with less amusement and more curiosity. They began asking personal questions about human philosophy and culture. Their tone was polite but probing. They wanted to see if humans could balance logic with empathy. Adam and Lena answered cautiously. They spoke of cooperation, history, and human resilience. Every answer was precise and measured. During a short break, the humans were escorted to a different corridor, this time longer and more complex. Lena noticed small lights along the walls that followed their movements, shifting colors with every step. The aliens were observing subtle reactions again. It was another test, one of patience and perception. Adam whispered, They measure everything, not just answers, but posture, hesitation, and gaze. They think knowledge alone makes control. Lena replied, But observation is as much power as action. The break ended. The humans returned to the main chamber. This time, the aliens presented a series of ethical dilemmas. One scenario involved a planet at risk of destruction, where humans were asked to allocate limited rescue resources. Another scenario involved the choice between saving technology or lives. Each prompt was designed to provoke tension, to force humans into moral conflict. Adam addressed each scenario calmly. He prioritized life, fairness, and strategic consideration. The aliens were intrigued, leaning forward and gesturing silently to each other. Lena recorded every reaction, noting changes in posture, eye movement, and tonal shifts. The humans could feel that their careful balance of morality and strategy was making the aliens reconsider assumptions. Next, a simulation involved direct interaction with alien technology. A holographic display appeared in the center of the room, showing a complex mechanism. The aliens asked Adam to operate it in a way that maximized efficiency without breaking rules. He studied it, analyzed patterns, and executed movements with precision. The simulation completed successfully, earning subtle signs of surprise from the observing aliens. Your species thinks too quickly, yet acts correctly, one alien commented. It is unexpected. Adam nodded, showing no sign of pride. Lena whispered, They are realizing we are not simple or weak. The aliens shifted the scenario once more. This time it involved a moral choice that had no clear answer. Two populations were at risk. Resources could only save one. Humans were asked to decide. Adam paused briefly, then spoke clearly. We will seek a solution that minimizes harm and maximizes survival, even if it requires creative thinking beyond simple choices. The aliens murmured among themselves. They had expected indecision, perhaps argument, perhaps stress. Instead, humans had shown clarity and calmness. The session continued into the evening. Each test was more complex than the last. Adam and Lena noticed the aliens leaning forward less frequently. They seemed to be learning, not mocking. Small signs of adjustment appeared in their posture and gestures. The humans were no longer just observed. They were setting a new pattern. Finally, the session ended. The humans were escorted back to their quarters. The corridors were quiet, the walls shifting subtly in response to their movements. Lena looked at Adam, her eyes wide. They are changing. They are not used to this. Adam nodded. Humans respond differently than they expect. Patience and calmness are tools. Observation is power. They underestimate the strength in that. In the quarters, they reviewed notes. Lena recorded every alien gesture, every whisper, every subtle change. Adam reviewed the simulations, considering every outcome and response. They understood the purpose of the tests now, to provoke, to measure, and to establish psychological dominance. But humans had countered with patience, clarity, and strategy. They believe they are testing us, Adam said. But we are testing them as well. Every question, every scenario, every observation reveals weakness. Lena nodded, feeling a sense of cautious satisfaction. We are learning faster than they think, and they do not yet know the depth of our preparation. Outside, the galaxy watched. Observers would report humans as small, fragile, and cautious. Yet inside the station, humans were gaining knowledge, insight, and power in ways invisible to the aliens. Every careful step, every calm decision, every recorded reaction was a part of a larger strategy. Humans were not defeated. They were growing stronger, quietly and without aggression. The aliens would not realize the full implications until it was too late. And when that moment arrived, humans would prove that intelligence, observation, and patience could be more dangerous than any weapon. As the doors sealed behind them for the night, Adam looked at Lena and said, "Tomorrow we will begin the next phase. They invited us to this table, believing they control the game. They are wrong." Lena smiled faintly. "And they will not know until we decide to show them." The station hummed softly around them, indifferent to the humans' plans. But the humans were ready. And that readiness, quiet and unseen, would be the beginning of change. The fourth day began with an unusual stillness. Humans entered the chamber, expecting the aliens to test them as before, but the air was different. The aliens seemed unsettled. Subtle movements and glances suggested surprise or caution. Adam and Lena noticed immediately that the station itself seemed quieter, less predictable. Energy flows, lights, and hums shifted irregularly. Something was changing. The session began with the aliens projecting a complex scenario across the chamber. This time it was not a test of moral choice or abstract decision-making. It involved the station itself. Humans were asked to navigate the holographic projection to prevent a simulated catastrophe. The challenge was designed to overwhelm. Alarms, shifting floors, malfunctioning systems, and time pressure. Every simulation appeared as real as possible. Adam assessed the scenario. He noticed the design patterns were consistent, the irregularities deliberate, and the stress points carefully planned. The aliens expected humans to panic, make mistakes, and reveal limits. Lena observed the alien faces and gestures closely. The subtle shift in their posture showed that even they did not expect the humans to succeed so easily. Adam moved first, calmly and deliberately. He instructed the humans to prioritize safety, maintain balance, and adapt to shifting conditions. They followed his lead. Each step was precise, every action deliberate. The holographic environment reacted, presenting new obstacles, but the humans adapted without confusion. The aliens leaned forward, their silver and red-skinned members exchanging rapid, silent communication. They were calculating, surprised by the humans' composure. Lena noted every subtle gesture, every change in tone. They were not just observing anymore. They were reacting, adjusting. It was the first time the humans realized the power had shifted slightly. After completing the simulation successfully, Adam addressed the aliens. The systems are designed to test adaptation and calm under pressure. We have demonstrated that humans can respond effectively without panic. The silver alien's many limbs waved slowly. Unexpected. Your species exceeds the parameters of our prediction. Alina smiled faintly. The aliens had underestimated the humans' capacity to learn quickly from observation. The session continued with more complex scenarios. This time, simulations involved multiple species, potential conflicts, and resource allocation. Each scenario tested human strategy, patience, and insight. The humans were careful, using logic and observation rather than force. Every action was deliberate. Every choice weighed against consequences. The aliens had designed the simulations to provoke error, yet none occurred. Adam noticed subtle anomalies in the station. Gravity shifts, light changes, and minor hums that did not match the simulations. He realized the aliens were testing humans' attention to detail and problem-solving abilities. He whispered to Lena, "They are watching not just our responses to their tests, but our observation of the environment. They are measuring awareness." Lena nodded, her eyes scanning the walls, panels, and lights. Every detail matters. Every shift tells a story. After the mid-session break, the humans were escorted through new corridors, longer and more complex than before. They noticed doors that opened and closed with varying delays, lights that shifted unpredictably, and subtle vibrations underfoot. The aliens wanted to see how humans would adapt to uncertainty. Adam moved with calm precision, guiding the group through patterns and sequences without hesitation. Lena recorded every response, noting how the aliens adjusted to human behavior. Returning to the chamber, the aliens presented a new challenge. A simulation involved a neighboring species under threat from natural disasters. Humans were asked to provide assistance while minimizing risk to themselves. The time pressure was intense, and the environment shifted unpredictably. Adam analyzed the situation quickly. He coordinated human actions, prioritizing safety and strategy. The simulation concluded successfully. One of the red-skinned aliens spoke, its voice calm but tinged with surprise. "Your species demonstrates control under conditions designed to provoke failure. This is rare," Adam replied evenly. "We learn from observation. We adapt without unnecessary force. Survival is not just strength, but awareness." The aliens exchanged silent gestures again. Lena noticed tension in their posture. The humans were no longer merely participants. They were influencing the aliens' perception. Observation had become power. The session progressed to direct interaction with alien technology. Holographic interfaces, mechanical simulators, and complex devices appeared. The humans engaged with each system, analyzing patterns, learning sequences, and solving challenges. Every success caused subtle shifts in alien reactions. Some leaned back in surprise. Others exchanged quick, silent signals. The humans understood that they were teaching the aliens as much as the aliens were testing them. By the end of the day, the aliens seemed less confident. Their questioning was more measured, less mocking, and their gestures were careful. They were recalculating human potential, adjusting expectations. Adam and Lena understood that the humans had shifted the balance in subtle ways. Observation, patience, and strategic action had changed the dynamics. Returning to their quarters, the humans reviewed every detail. Every simulation, every gesture, every anomaly was recorded. Adam spoke quietly to Lena. They believe they controlled the station, but they are learning from us. Every test, every observation is revealing their assumptions and limits. Lena nodded. They think dominance is power, but control over perception is what matters. And we have done that, quietly. Outside, the galaxy continued unaware. Observers would report that humans were small, cautious, and compliant. Yet within the station, humans had gained knowledge, insight, and subtle power. They were ready to continue the game on their terms. Adam and Lena understood the true lesson. The station itself, the aliens' tests, and their assumptions had been an opportunity. Humans had survived and learned, not by force, but by calm observation, adaptability, and insight. And when the time came, the humans would demonstrate a strength the aliens had not anticipated. As the doors sealed behind them for the night, Adam looked at Lena and said, "They invited us here thinking they controlled everything. They have learned only part of the truth." Lena smiled faintly, a mixture of pride and caution. "And the rest of the truth is waiting for the right moment." The station hummed softly around them, unaware that the small, quiet humans within were preparing to change everything. The fifth day began with an unusual tension. The aliens gathered in the chamber appeared more serious, their movements precise and deliberate. The humans sensed that the pattern had shifted. Observation and testing had given way to cautious reassessment. Adam and Lena walked calmly into the room, aware that the session today would be different. The aliens projected a new series of simulations. This time they involved multiple species, complex resources, and potential conflicts. The humans were asked to prioritize, negotiate, and respond to scenarios where no choice was without consequence. Adam observed carefully, noting every irregularity and subtle change in the projection patterns. He directed the humans to respond logically, calmly, and strategically. Each decision was deliberate, measured, and precise. The silver alien spoke first. "Human delegates, your responses thus far have exceeded expectations. Yet the Council is curious about your species' ability to adapt under deception. You will face a scenario where not all information is true." Adam nodded. "Humans evaluate information carefully. We understand that perception can be manipulated, and we act with caution." The simulation appeared. Planets under threat, allies in danger, false alerts of disasters, and misleading data created confusion. The humans moved carefully, checking, double-checking, and analyzing the environment. They distinguished fact from trickery and responded effectively. Every action was deliberate. The aliens watched closely, their expressions tense. They had designed this to create errors, yet none occurred. Lena noticed subtle shifts in the aliens' posture. Their confidence wavered. They whispered in their own language, which sounded like a mixture of clicks and hums. The humans could not understand, but Lena recorded every gesture. Even now, observation was power. Another challenge followed. Alien technology appeared, more complex than ever. Panels, holograms, and interfaces designed to confuse were presented. Adam analyzed, adapted, and solved each challenge methodically. The aliens had underestimated human learning speed and pattern recognition. Their subtle surprise was evident in gestures, pauses, and shifts of limbs. A red-skinned alien spoke. "Your species demonstrates clarity and adaptability beyond our calculations. It is remarkable." Adam remained calm. "We learn from experience and observation. Intelligence is measured by understanding and applying knowledge." The aliens exchanged silent gestures again. Some leaned back, others leaned forward. They were recalculating assumptions, reconsidering strategies. Humans were no longer just being tested. They were influencing alien perceptions. Next, the scenario involved moral dilemmas with no clear solution. One planet required aid. Another contained resources essential for survival. The humans were asked to prioritize. Adam considered the options carefully. He directed the humans to balance survival and fairness. Each decision was strategic, minimizing harm while maintaining ethical clarity. The aliens whispered among themselves, their expressions changing subtly. They had expected hesitation, perhaps conflict, perhaps panic. Instead, humans had shown precise judgment and composure. The balance of power and observation had shifted. During a short break, Adam and Lena walked the corridors. The station seemed quieter, less predictable. Subtle vibrations, changing lights, and minor anomalies indicated that the aliens were adjusting, perhaps even learning. Adam said quietly, "They are recalculating. Our actions have changed their perception of us. They are not in full control anymore." Lena nodded. "And they will continue to underestimate the depth of our preparation." After the break, the session returned. The aliens presented a scenario involving direct interaction with multiple species. Humans were asked to coordinate, negotiate, and respond to dynamic changes. The time pressure was intense, and the environment shifted unpredictably. Adam and the humans adapted quickly, maintaining composure and control. The aliens' reactions were subtle but noticeable. They leaned forward less frequently. They gestured silently, recalculating probabilities. Then, a new test appeared, a complex simulation involving the station itself. Humans were asked to identify anomalies, prevent failures, and ensure safety. The simulated systems appeared to malfunction intentionally. Adam analyzed patterns, coordinated human responses, and resolved each issue. The aliens' surprise was visible. They had expected stress, error, and hesitation. Humans had shown clarity and control. The silver alien spoke again. "You demonstrate strategic thinking and composure under stress. Your species is difficult to predict." Adam nodded. "Predictability is not always an advantage. Humans rely on observation, reasoning, and adaptation. This allows us to navigate complexity." The aliens exchanged rapid, silent communication. Lena recorded every subtle movement. The human success had shifted the dynamics. Observation, patience, and strategic thinking had created an advantage. The aliens were learning from humans, even as they tested them. The session continued into the evening. Simulations became more complex, combining moral dilemmas, technological challenges, and strategic decisions. Every scenario tested human patience, intelligence, and observation. Humans responded with calm, deliberate action. The aliens' confidence wavered. They had designed the session to provoke mistakes, yet humans adapted seamlessly. By the end of the day, the humans understood the purpose of the tests. The aliens had sought to assert dominance, provoke reactions, and measure limits. The humans had countered with observation, patience, and strategic decision-making. The balance of perception had shifted subtly. The aliens were no longer fully in control. Returning to their quarters, the humans reviewed every detail. Adam spoke quietly to Lena. They invited us to their tests, thinking they controlled the outcome. We have demonstrated control through understanding, observation, and adaptation. The next phase will reveal how far this influence can extend. Lena nodded. Every gesture, every pause, every shift in their behavior has been recorded. They will not understand the full extent of our preparation until it is too late. Outside, the galaxy continued unaware. Observers would report that humans were cautious, strategic, and intelligent, yet within the station, humans had gained subtle power. They had shifted perception, learned patterns, and prepared for the moment when observation and patience would become advantage. They were ready to influence the outcome on their terms. As the doors sealed behind them for the night, Adam looked at Lena and said, "They invited us to this table believing they controlled everything. In reality, they are learning from us, and they do not yet understand the depth of human resilience." Lena smiled faintly. "And when we reveal it, the galaxy will see that humans are not to be underestimated." The station hummed softly, unaware that the humans within had turned observation into power. Calm, careful, and prepared, humans were ready to reshape the dynamics, proving that intelligence, strategy, and patience could be more formidable than any weapon. The sixth day began with a quiet intensity. The humans entered the chamber, aware that the council had begun to reassess their previous assumptions. Adam and Lena walked calmly, their faces neutral, ready for the final phase of the tests. The air was charged with subtle tension. The aliens no longer exhibited amusement or casual superiority. Their posture and movement suggested caution. The session began with a holographic projection across the chamber. This time it displayed multiple star systems, planets in crisis, and complex resource networks. The aliens explained that the humans' actions today would influence decisions across the galaxy. It was no longer a test of morality or skill alone. It was an opportunity for humans to demonstrate strategy and insight under observation. Adam studied the projection carefully. Lena recorded every reaction, every gesture, and every subtle shift in alien behavior. They noticed that the aliens had reduced interruptions, fewer gestures, and less visible communication among themselves. Observation had become the key. Humans had turned the game around, and the aliens were responding with caution. The first scenario required humans to coordinate relief for multiple planets simultaneously while managing limited resources. Adam instructed calmly, prioritizing life over material assets and considering long-term effects of each action. Humans executed the plan efficiently, adjusting to shifting parameters without error. The aliens whispered among themselves, their surprise evident. They had expected mistakes or hesitation, but humans had acted with clarity and calm precision. The next simulation involved a potential conflict between neighboring species. Humans were asked to mediate, negotiate, and propose solutions to prevent escalation. Adam guided the team with logical reasoning and strategic compromise. Lena observed alien reactions. The red-skinned delegates leaned forward slightly, then relaxed, showing a subtle acknowledgement that humans could manage complexity. Even the silver alien seemed tense, a sign that human actions had challenged expectations. A new challenge followed. Humans were asked to interact with alien technology to stabilize a malfunctioning station. The systems were complex and unpredictable, designed to provoke failure. Adam analyzed the interfaces carefully and guided the humans to adapt in real time. They corrected malfunctions, stabilized systems, and prevented simulated disaster. The aliens exchanged subtle glances. Their previous confidence had diminished. Humans had exceeded expectations again. The silver alien spoke, its voice calm but carrying a hint of respect. Your species demonstrates comprehension and strategic execution beyond our initial calculations. It is unexpected. Adam inclined his head. Observation, analysis, and measured action allow humans to navigate complexity effectively. The aliens whispered in their own language. Some leaned back, others moved their limbs in rapid silent signals. The humans observed and recorded every detail. They understood that their performance had reshaped the aliens' perception of human capability. Next, a simulation combined moral dilemmas, technological challenges, and negotiation scenarios. Humans were asked to make choices with incomplete information while minimizing harm. Adam analyzed each scenario, instructed the team, and guided decisions with precision. Every action was deliberate, every choice weighed against consequences. The aliens observed, their confidence waning as they recognized human adaptability. During a brief break, Adam and Lena walked through corridors with subtly shifting lights and vibrations. They noted the station's behavior. The aliens had adjusted systems to create new challenges, but the humans navigated with composure. Adam whispered, "They are testing adaptation under uncertainty, but they are learning from us as well. They underestimate patience and observation." Lena replied, "Those are our tools, and they have no idea how strong they are." Returning to the chamber, the final simulation appeared. It combined all previous tests: moral choices, technological interaction, resource management, and interspecies negotiation. Humans were asked to coordinate multiple responses simultaneously, under intense time pressure. Adam guided calmly, making strategic decisions while delegating effectively. The humans executed flawlessly, adapting to unexpected changes and solving problems in real time. The aliens leaned forward, their silent communication filled with tension and reassessment. After completing the final simulation, the chamber fell silent. The aliens' usual dominance was absent. For the first time, humans and aliens observed each other as equals, each measuring the other's capacity. The red-skinned alien spoke, its voice careful. "Your species has demonstrated qualities beyond our calculations. Oh, intelligence, patience, and strategy have proven formidable. The Council acknowledges this." Adam remained calm. Humanity seeks understanding and cooperation. Strength is measured not only in force but in observation, analysis, and adaptation. The aliens exchanged subtle gestures indicating silent agreement. They had learned from humans, even as they had attempted to test them. The balance of perception had shifted. Humans had used observation, patience, and careful action to transform a situation designed to assert alien control into an opportunity to demonstrate capability. After the session ended, humans were escorted back to their quarters. Adam and Lena reviewed the day, noting every reaction and detail. They understood the true impact. The Council had been challenged, assumptions overturned, and perception altered. Humanity had demonstrated that intelligence and strategy could rival physical or technological power. Outside, the galaxy remained unaware. Observers would report that humans had acted cautiously, strategically, and intelligently. Within the station, humans had shifted the balance of power subtly but decisively. Observation had become influence, patience had become strategy, and careful action had become demonstration of strength. Adam spoke quietly to Lena. They invited us here thinking they controlled everything. They assumed dominance would be simple. They have learned the wrong lesson. Lena smiled faintly. And when we leave, the galaxy will see that humanity is not to be underestimated. Our strength is not in aggression, but in intelligence and preparation. The station hummed softly, unaware that the humans within had transformed observation into power. Calm, deliberate, and strategic, they were ready to leave, having turned a test into a demonstration. Humanity had arrived not to be dominated, but to teach that intelligence, patience, and careful action could be more formidable than any weapon. The aliens had invited humans to peace talks, and they had underestimated the consequences. Now, regret would echo across the stars.